This is Hueyfrotl, my hardcore Chunkman with a twist. Instead of unlocking chunks one at a time, we'll be unlocking them all at once. Welcome to All Chunkman. Okay, so we're fresh off Tutorial Island on the All Chunkman account. Looks like we just have Lumbridge unlocked for now, so let me go ahead and unlock our starting chunks. As you can see, the Woodcutting and Defense caves are in our starting chunks, along with every other skill cave, so we are gonna have quite the grind ahead of us. My first big goal for this account is Veil Totems. With the addition of Varlamore, Rushing Wintertot has somewhat lost its luster for early game irons in favor of Hunter Rumors, but with the Fletching Knife from Veil Totems working to speed up actions in the minigame, Wintertot becomes much better for both XP and rewards, and with some levels and skills that resource drops from Wintertot scale off of, it starts to look like a very enticing option. But there's a lot we need to get done first. This is less of a Wintertot rush and more of a prepared assault. We started out by working through some of the easy quests in and around Lumbridge before heading to Draenor rooftops to train agility. Getting Agi out of the way early will help us a lot in working on our other goals without needing to walk everywhere, especially with the Graceful set. Veil Totems does have a mechanic to restore energy for players with less Agi, but it does slow you down a bit still, so I'm looking to use it as little as possible. Additionally, if we can get at least 60 Agi, then we can get some zero-time Agi XP hopping on the Wintertot shortcut between games, which would be a nice little bonus. We are getting some questing done in between courses here, but there are a lot of quests in this game now, so I'm going to try to mostly bring up the important ones. Once we hit 40 Agi, we ran into the problem of needing the Priest in Peril quest to access the rooftop course in Canifis. Without any levels in combat at this point, we had no chance of defeating the guard dog you fight during the quest, so we had to switch gears. After quickly running through the Children of the Sun quest to unlock Varlamore, I ran to the Hunter Guild to take advantage of the new Iron meta of picking up the Eclipse Red and selling it for starting cash. If you've watched anyone else start in Iron lately, you've likely already seen this. Eclipse Reds sell for an unchanging 700 GP each in the Moonrise Brewery down in Alderaan, and the spawn is close to a bank and respawns every minute or so. By world hopping to pick these up and banking to sell later, we can make hundreds of thousands of GP per hour with zero level requirements. The main disadvantage being that we aren't training any skills while we do this, but for now that is 100% worth it for access to this much GP. Later on, as we start to unlock money-making methods that level us up, like thieving, we'll start to prefer them over selling these wines. I really started to space out doing this, and ended up getting over an hour's worth of wines, which hopefully will have us set on cash for a while. With our newfound wealth, we can pay for runes for magic training and combat, the first few melee weapons we'll be using, charters to get around before we unlock better travel methods, and various quest items we can buy from stores. First up on the quest to-do list was Witch's Potion for starting Magic XP and Druidic Ritual to unlock Herblore so we could start putting our lamps on it. While we were in the area, we started Witch's House, but I was a little too scared to finish it with my combat stats still so low. Next up, we finished Rune Mysteries, starting every other quest we could on the way, then X marks the spot with the lamp we used on Herblore. As one of the only chunk accounts with access to Herblore, it felt important to put any lamps we could onto it. Then Museum Quiz to start Hunter and Slayer, and Client of Corinne for another Herblore lamp. After those were finished, I chartered to Ardoyne to start the Fight Arena quest. Some of the enemies in this quest could really tear through me at 13 hit points, but they are all safe spottable with magic, and the 13k attack XP quest reward would be huge for starting my melee training, so I decided to take the risk. We got the Ogre safe spotted without an issue. I sort of panicked with the Scorpion, but we got him too. And then the Bouncer spawned. Yeah, we got chanced here. It was definitely my fault. I could have run farther away or just trained hit points to 14 before fighting him, but we lived, so all's well. For that completely uneventful quest, we got some of the other safer Arduin early quests done, including Clock Tower, Monk's Friend, Sheep Herder, and Haziel Cult. Okay, we're really getting into the meat of the quest now, so I'm going to try to breeze through a few. We went back to Varrock, did Gertrude's cat and started raiding one, did Daddy's home for some construction XP, Witch's house finally for hit points, Doric's quest, Pirate's treasure, back to Ardoin, Plague City and Biohazard, and then we got back to doing quests with combat XP rewards. Also I did Imp Catcher, but I forgot to say it. With 26 hit points, we could get through Tree Gnome Village, Waterfall Quest, the Grand Tree, and Vampire Slayer without much to worry about. Finishing these got us 30 strength and enough attack to wield a rune scimitar already. And with it, we should be more than strong enough to breeze through Priest and Barrel, so we hiked over to the Urania altar to grab one as a 1 in 50 drop from Zamorak Warriors. And we got it on our third one! I have a recording of me maging these guys, it's less than 3 minutes long. I was really expecting to spend more time here, but I am not gonna complain. With our new sword, we roleplayed a police officer and finished Priest in Peril without any issues. And finally we could get to Canifis and get back to training some Agi. Canifis has great marks of grace per hour compared to most other courses, so we made tons of progress towards graceful here. We did end up staying a little longer after unlocking the next course for some more marks, but at 52 we headed to Falador Rooftops for a small XP increase. Around here in the 50s you can really feel the agility levels start to come in slower, but I was so brave and made it all the way to 60 before deciding to reward myself with another quest spree. Goblin Village, Dwarf Cannon, and Murder Mystery for crafting levels, some woodcutting and firemaking until level 30 for Sea Slug for a jump start on fishing. At this point, even with our higher agi, traversing the map on foot for all these quests was starting to get old. So I set my sights on the classic Ardoin Easy Diary Fairy Tale Part 1 combo for easy access to fairy rings, one of the most powerful transportation methods in the game. The problem was, using the lamp from Ardoin Easy Diary on Herblore would require us having 30 in the skill already, and we were still a ways away. So while continuing to get sidetracked constantly, I got Jungle Potion and Karamja Easy Diary done for some Herblore, and started working towards any and all Herblore or lamp rewards we could get, because training the skill manually at this point was far from fast. In addition to quests with direct Herblore rewards like the Dig Site and Shades of Morn, which we did not almost die during, you can get a 1000 XP lamp from the museum for telling them about Making History, which sounded like too much work, Merlin's Crystal, and Shield of Era. That still doesn't quite get us there, so I ventured into the Edgevale Dungeon Wilderness to grab some herbs to train it manually. And with some secondaries from unicorn horns and chocolate bars, we got it! And we could finish Ardoin Diary without wasting the lamp and get easy access to fairy rings. We had the levels, so we knocked out Candor and Easy for some more marks of grace from the Cirrus course, and got back to running rooftops until we had enough marks to finish the graceful outfit at 66 agility. As a side note, were I to do this grind again, I would have gone to termite agility as soon as I hit the required level 62. I could have converted the termites into amylates and then sold them for marks for about the same marks and XP per hour as the Cirrus course with way less input frequency. Factoring in how often I was failing at the Cirrus course in the low 60s, and the bonus marginal prayer XP in the form of bone shards from termite agi, it's just the better choice to me. But anyways, we got graceful, had a nice relaxing time at termite agility. I like it there, it's chill. And finally finished the fashion we've been going for since the start of Hueyfrotl's journey. 70 agi to boot. Now we could finally work on woodcutting and banking the logs we'll need for veil totems. And with fairy rings we could grab a mithril, adamant, and rune axe from the tree spirits in the Enchanted Valley. Woodcutting time. There's actually lots we want from woodcutting and forestry aside from logs for veil totems. We need logs and anima bark for the log basket to bank more logs at a time and make more totems between bank trips. We need a variety of log types for birdhouse runs when we get around to unlocking Fossil Island, lots of oak logs for early construction, and XP and secondary skills as well as strange fruits and farming seeds from forestry events. Getting some clue drops from here wouldn't hurt either. Speaking of clues, we need 20 range to where the studded shafts we need for this easy step. We should be able to skip all the way there with the combat XP lamp we get from the Shadow of the Storm quest, so we knocked out its prerequisites and got to work on it. There is a pretty strong boss at the end, but he's flinchable, so it really shouldn't be that big of a deal. Fuck. This was entirely avoidable. It turns out you can't flinch Agrithnar for the killing blow, or else he gets some of his health back, which I found out the hard way. Once I found that out, I should have left and come back with more food, but I was being stubborn and just hoping it would work out. I am sad about losing the status so early, especially because the armor looks cool in thumbnails, but between my bad attention span and spotty internet connection, I was never expecting to make it to the end game as a hardcore. I'm bummed about it, but I'm still excited to keep making progress on this account and see where it takes us. After locking in and sitting Agrithnar, we opened our caskets, which, you know, weren't quite worth dying for, but hey, 47 law runes is nice. And we went back to our main goal of cutting trees. You unlock lots of different trees to cut as you level up, but aside from teak and mahogany trees, which you can't use at veil totems, every tier of tree you go up from willows to magics will get you more AFK time with less XP per hour. For me, the sweet spot was maples and yews. Willows don't give you much time to look away from your screen, and magic trees are very AFK, but with the rune axe we were getting logs at a glacial pace. But maples and yews are solid mid-tier logs that shouldn't be too slow to use at veil totems. At this point we were also doing a lot of mining shooting stars on the side whenever I needed something that I could do while editing or playing another game. Around 75 woodcutting we got a hard clue with a Sarah Wizard step, and hard clues could have huge drops for this early in the account, so we took a break from deforestation to do Holy Grail for overheads and the easier RFD quest for adamant clubs. And then it was time for the fight of the century. I should have just ranged him while praying mage instead of tanking his melee hits, but I feel like this turned out way more dramatic. It wasn't exactly smooth sailing from there.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
But we got it done. And was it worth it? Well, good to get some questing done anyways. While we were on a questing kick, we did Garden of Death to jumpstart our farming levels, Bone Voyage to let us make Ultra Compost and do birdhouse runs for passive hunter training, the Feud to get our fletching to the level needed for Veil Totems, and Tourist Trap to start off thieving. Thieving could actually be very useful for us right now because we were burning through money for charter ships in Lawrence with all the quests and clues we were teleporting around doing. We finished 50 thieving, spent way too long getting the rogue's outfit. Oh my god, we got one. It took like an hour, oh my god. No. Oh my god. And chilled out thieving wealthy citizens to replenish our cash stack, doing an easy clue here and there on the way. And then it was back to woodcutting and training our other winter toss skills. "50 farming, I've been spamming it in the background. You didn't even know. You were none the wiser. You fool." Okay, so I've been playing other games and editing the video while mining stars and doing other AFK activities. I just got Golem at 250,000 XP. This is the first pet we have on the account. I am so excited about this. Look at this guy. Holy crap. That's so early to get it. A lot of people go to 99 without getting Golem. Holy crap. Wow, okay.
Okay, it's time for one of our favorite games on the show called What If It Was Purple? Up first we have...
Golem. Now, for a new segment I like to call 1 week of star mining, interrupted by occasional questing for clue requirements. Fremennik trial's done, because we needed it for a medium clue. Woo! My name is Barlack for Fremenniks? Dude. We need 50 crafting now for the same clue we did Fremennik trials for. But I have been living at stars whenever I don't have the time to play on this account, so we should be able to get it just from gem bags. We got 57 crafting from the gems. That's more than enough to make sneak hide shots. Yay! Gonna snag 9 magic levels to get the ring we need for this clue.
A few moments later.
And we'll make a strength annual over here. Made 40 range to... Yay! Underground pass completed for a hard clue step. Yay! Regicide completed. We just had to start it for the hard clue, but I figured we might as well finish it. Also, I had to cross the underground pass 3 times to do these 2 quests, and I did not fail the bridge crossing once. I am so glad I bothered to get 70 agi before starting these. Silver Flesh Eater is done. Hopefully these bones can help us get melee overheads. Let's see if I get lucky on the saves here. This would be huge. Nope.
Look.
Nope.
Yeah.
No!
No.
Oh my god.
No.
That's so bad. That's so unlucky.
With the regular vote. It's so
I got so much. I'm getting
the
so much
regular
from the
vote
regular.
popped off.
Oh my god.
No.
Dude, no shot. Okay, fuck. Because of our bad luck with the orb bones, we ended up running a few big bones from the boneyard to the Chaos Altar, and finishing off 43 prayer with the installed druid heads we got when we were grinding herblore in the wilderness way back at the start of the video. Twilight's Promise on the front core. That's a chunk task. We can use the Quetzals now. I really wanted this to make my herb runs faster. Giant Dwarf completed for a clue step, but I didn't need the whole quest for the clue step, but I did it anyways because I was halfway done. I've been doing a little farming in the background. I was gonna get this Explorer's Ring for a teleport to the Lumbridge patch until I realized we don't actually get that until the Medium Diary, but this is nice for run energy.
Oh.
Yay!
Yay. No.
Are doing medium diary because this one actually has a teleport for the farming. Yay!
We did 20 ticks, and that was the best one.
And with that, we have over 5,000 U logs banked, which feels like as good a place to stop as any. This much should be enough for us to get a lot of Veil Totems done. Along with that, we have 4,300 sawmill vouchers from forestry bark, and a solid 58,000 stardust from stars we've been mining. Before we finally get started on Veil Totems, I've been stacking up caskets as a motivation for myself to get through editing this video. So let's finally crack these open and see what we get. I am very excited, especially for the medium and hard caskets. Ooh, ancient rope top. That's actually great for magic and prayer. I will take that. Ooh, our first master clue. There's no way we can complete this, but it's nice to see. And a war blessing, which will be great for God Wars eventually. Black D'hide chaps, yes! Awesome. And a black D'hide body. Okay, great. We are set for range now. That will be amazing to have. Nothing too fancy, no God D'hide or ranger boots, spiked manacles, but still, these are really good clue openings. We got a lot of pages, our first power amulets, some blessings for Zamrak bandos, God robes. I'm really happy with this. That's all the time I have today. Thank you so much for watching this far. It genuinely means the world to me. I learned a lot about recording and editing making this video. If you want to see more, please like, leave a comment, subscribe, and hype the video, I think. I think there's a thing where you hype videos now. Next episode, we will be breezing through Veil Totems, some Winter Tot, and training our combat up to finally tackle some of the newer PVM content that got me excited to make this account in the first place. So stay tuned!